Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Gotham City Mitch. I'm Mad Dormouse. Today's episode is going to be me checking out a 70-something-year-old knitting book for Barbie and Ken. I say Barbie, it's a fashion doll. It's a knitting book for the teenage doll, which is, of course, Barbie and Ken, by Mary Maxim. I discovered this, I think, a couple months ago as an online download. Normally I like having, the physical books, much like... Wow! Siren, you're so adorable, but no. No, baby girl. Oh, no, sweetums. No. Oh, you poor thing. You poor thing. Much like I prefer video games, I try to go physical. But this knitting book was on sale for, I think, half off, so it was $2.50. What I wanted to figure out most was, this book. At least on the website, they say it was published in the 1950s, which I do find hard to believe, because if Barbie, of course, debuted in 59, they're really gonna, quote-unquote, pump out a knitting book within the first year when even Mattel and Ruth Handler didn't know how the doll would be received. So I think it was published in the 60s, so I'm interested to figure out, can these knits be done up in a modern aesthetic or modern variation? Maybe it's the 80s/90s kid in me, but seeing the one shirt with what looks like a popped collar, that at least reads to me as modern. I do not know how modern the popped collar is. If it's had another comeback, I hope not. But I thought that could be translated to modern fashion for the dolls well enough. The hemline of the skirts for Barbie do run a little long conservatively. I do find in the pictures and in the end result, if one follows the directions accordingly. In knitting the garments, I'll admit, when it comes to knitting something that's small for, a model this size, I don't like doing the swatch to figure out the tension. If the yarn weight matches up and the needles match to the directions, I have no problem knitting it up as directions go and seeing if it needs to be adjusted from there. Which in this case, for the shirts and this one dress, which I was able to convert into a somewhat peasant crop top, it turned out bigger than I would have liked. I don't know if this was because I was using the Super Saver yarn, which price-wise isn't that bad, but I know some people in the knitting world poo-poo the Super Saver yarn. I don't think it's that bad, especially for doll clothes. I did find some of the specialty Super Saver, such as the metallic Super Saver, and one other brand I was able to find at Walmart was Mandela, I think. It's the same weight that the pattern called for, but obviously turned out a bit finer, so I was able to knit up smaller garment size. That being said, of course, with the curvy Barbie here, the bigger size garments fit adequately for her as well. So test the tension or adjust the pattern accordingly for the size doll that you're going for. In modifying the existing patterns found in the book, I was able to create new pieces such as this romper-esque design using the top of the one dress, and then instead of finishing with the skirt, divided the stitches for pants. All in all, I'd say this book it's for the price I paid. Again, the digital download for $2.50, I guess, plus tax. It was worth it. If you're a beginning knitter, I'd say this is beginning to intermediate. Some of the patterns Some of the patterns do say when knitting, to read each line carefully. I will admit there were some garments that I did mess up because I didn't fully read. Are you instructed to knit something flat, such as the start of this dress, which ends up turning into a V-shaped cutout. It has you knit, start with knit 1 row, purl 1 row, knit 1 row, purl 1 row. And I found that in that case, and in the example of at least 1 or 2 pairs of pants, whichever side they wanted you to end on, I found it to be the wrong side. So when I was doing 1 pair of pants, before you joined the stitches in a circle for a leg, you had to knit and purl back flat on one leg for one reason, and then join it in the round. I found that when I joined it in the round, it was on the wrong side, or the purl was on the outside, which of course, in this case, with the V shape on the outside, the flat side is the right side, and the textured back side, which is the purl side, is the wrong side of the fabric. I found that when I went to join the leg in the round, it was the purl on the outside, which gives you the right side of the fabric on the outside. So I feel like that was maybe an error. Again, I could have messed it up. I could have had the issue. Alright guys, with that, I want to say I do recommend this book. I'll be putting these garments into storage for the collection. See you next time. Happy knitting.